my diamond water dripping on your daughter. And she gave me her number, told me call her. And they was on the shop before we bought her. And you was running shit before we caught her. The whole life, shawty, you just need to chill. Percocet, what the fuck is Advil? Blue faces, $100 bills. Blue faces, $100 bills. So much.
What's the deal? It's the boy duanepatrickmclean at duanepatrickmclean TV. Back again with the baby chains on, the fake earrings in. About to tell y'all who might get tucked in. So we're going to be talking about Kanye West and his recent Twitter rants. And of course, he's always a topic on one of my Illuminati talks, of course, or one of my categories of content, because Kanye West is one of the, if not one, besides Drake, if not one of the most Illuminati artists or affiliates in the rap game. If you look at his video Power, My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasies, all the shit he said about Google, even came out and said he sold his soul to the devil and it was a crappy deal, at least it came with some fries and a Happy Meal. And if you also look at just throughout his career, he always had a bunch of Illuminati symbolism. And so we're going to speak about his recent rants. He said artists need to get their masters back. Without the tours, artists are going broke and he's going to get their masters. Pray for me. That's a key part that I want you guys to look at. He said, pray for me. Basically saying like, hey, I know I'm risking my life on this. I know I could potentially get killed from this. You guys pray for me. A lot of people will get killed from this. He knows the patterns. He knows what happens to artists who came out in the past and spoke about getting their masters and having ownership of their material. Kanye West is also seen pissing on a Grammy. You know, he came out saying that the white media tried to take out Bill Cosby. The white media took out Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, and R. Kelly. You know, and him saying those things are really big eye openers. And I don't like to speak death on people. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I'm really into, saying, oh, they're going to die. But he's treading waters of getting tucked in. He's on tucked in time right now. I'm pretty sure Kim is not around because Kim is the one who keep Kanye in check with a lot of shit. And Kanye being one of the pioneers of the game, he's actually a leader in the black community plus in the hip hop community. He's very influential, and he wouldn't have that power if it wasn't for the Illuminati doing that for him. You know what I'm saying? Or the deep state, whatever you want to call them. I prefer to call them the Illuminati. There's so many different names. I just like calling them Illuminati. They are the ones who gave him this position of power. So with him saying that artists need their masters, artists need this, they can really potentially get Kanye West tucked in. If you're new to the channel, when I say tucked in, I'm meaning killed. Tucked in came from I used to say I'm gonna lay you down. You know what I'm saying? Which came from Biggie Small's songs, Long Kiss Goodnight, I leave your mouthpiece obese like Della Reese. When I release, you lose teeth like little C's. That song, one of my favorite songs. So he's like, you gonna get a long kiss goodnight. And a battle rapper in New Jersey, Detroit said, I'm gonna lay you down in one of his battles. And I used to go up to people and say, I'll lay you down and I'll tuck you in, nigga. Bedtime stories. We even had the warm milk for you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We tuck you in, got them fluffy pillows, you be tucked in. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that came from, if you're wondering. But if you're new to the channel, that's what I mean by when I say tucked in. Kanye West is on the levels of getting killed, speaking on this. And I hope he doesn't. And I hope he does bring the masters back for artists. A lot of artists are not eating off of this. And I personally don't think that this will stop it 100%, but it will start to wake a lot of artists up to stay independent, to stay owning your own music, to stay owning everything. If I was to join the rap game right now, which I am currently doing music, if I was to do anything music-wise, I would not sign to a label. I will basically stay independent, pay for my own production, pay for everything, build a fan base and sell it that way, you know. 2021, I will be dropping my first mixtape on my channel. It will be releasing on all platforms. Don't know when. I'm aiming for June 2021 to give myself enough time to get all the mastering, all the production. It's probably gonna be 7 to 8 songs. If you are, it's gonna probably be 100% solo. I wasn't say if you want looking for a feature, but if you want me to feature on your project, email me. We can talk prices and work that way. But back onto the topic we're talking about, NBA. Youngboy came out recently, said he wanted to get his masters. He said he'll do 4 albums for free. He just wants to own his masters. that shows you how important it is to own your master. See, the labels are still getting paid off the streams, and the artists who are not touring did not get anything. Now, what I think is going to happen with Kanye West, I'm sure that he's going to get reprogrammed again, because he recently just had a meltdown not too long ago, coming out speaking about, you know, leaving Kim, almost losing his daughter, he moving away from E, they're being controlled by Hollywood, them Kim having plans for the daughter playing in Playboy, because like I tell you guys, when these occulted people start making their plans, they think 20 years, 15 years ahead in time. You know, they do a lot of things spiritual wise to keep death off of them. You know what I'm saying? They make these pacts with the devil to give them certain times, or with different spiritual entities to give them certain times in life of length. These guys don't have to worry about driving. So it's easy for Kim to predict or to map out her daughter's life from when she turns 18, from when she turns 20. So Kanye started speaking about that, and then he said, Kim, come and get me. And then Kanye came back with his hair dyed red. When he had his hair dyed red, that lets you know that he's been reprogrammed. Why is it that Kim got to come there with a doctor? And then they're saying, oh, he's bipolar. This is his bipolar coming out. If it is his bipolar coming out, bipolar people speak the truth. You know, I knew somebody was bipolar, that they'll go crazy, but they'll be quick to tell you, hey, motherfucker, you raped your niece. Motherfucker, fuck you. You be eating Thanksgiving dinner out of nowhere, he just put the fork down and be like, hey, motherfucker, you raped your fucking niece. Out of nowhere, you know. There's a lot of good and bad that come with the bipolar shit. So with Kanye West coming out and they want to blame it on bipolar shit, does not mean that we have to throw everything away what he's saying. Oh, well, he's bipolar, so let's throw it away. No, that doesn't. It's the same shit when an individual gets killed by a person in law enforcement. We're just not going to put a race on it, say individual. Soon as they say, oh, well, this person got a drug charge back in 1998, oh, well, it was okay for him to get killed, okay? I don't know if that's a good analogy, but we're going to roll with it. So with Kanye West saying, oh, he has bipolar, he's crazy, let's just throw this out the window what he's saying. This right here is really a big topic, and this right here is a big no-no to the labels. I wouldn't be shocked if something crazy or miraculously happens to Kanye in the future, like a sickness, or if he just goes away, or if they try to pin it on him being crazy again, or if they come out and speak about him having a meltdown, because he did it, like I said, if you think about it recently, he came out and spoke about Kim, now he's speaking about, then he came out and spoke about Kim, then he did an apology, now he's doing this about the labels, owning everything, and I wouldn't be shocked if he comes out and apologizes later on, you know, but Kanye West is speaking a lot of, like I said, he's speaking really truthfully. To you young people out here who want to get signed to a label, if you sign to a label, don't give them your best work. Just use them for what they're doing for you. If I was assigned to a label, I would use them just to get my name out there, and they would get all freestyles. They would get all fucking freestyles. I would not even spend my advance money. I live in a trailer and an apartment. So the production and everything, they're going to pay for the production. You know what I'm saying? I will make enough off my freestyles just to give them enough production. You know what I'm saying? To pay back the production. They wouldn't get none of my written material. They wouldn't get none of my hits I'm sitting on currently. They wouldn't get none of my catchy shit. They would get all freestyles. I go to the booth, and even with that, even with my freestyles, I could probably freestyle a hit, you know. But I advise nobody to sign to a label. But I do understand why people do sign to it. And guess what? Kanye, there's always going to be somebody there to get the sign to the label. There's always going to be somebody be like, hey, I need that 15,000. Let me sign. I need that 100,000. Let me sign. They throw a bunch of the money at them, get them that deal, and screw the artist over. So now the artist can't even get paid off their likeness. It's the same thing. And what I'm noticing was going on is the Great Awakening was going on. I will say that is happening right now, the Great Awakening, when they're allowing these artists, and a lot of these artists, they are in the Illuminati, but just because you're in the Illuminati or you have had past Masonic ties don't mean you can't come out and speak out. You know, just when these people do that, they're risking their lives. So when Ice Cube came out and spoke about this shit the other day, about the votes and all the other shit, you know, of course he's not going to speak on the real shit. Like what Isaac Cappy did, Isaac Cappy spoke on some real shit and got capped. Ice Cube speaking on his voting shit, but he's also waking people up. Kanye West is also speaking about owning your masters and getting out of the slave trade and all this other shit. And sooner or later, more and more people are going to start waking up locally. So hopefully we can start getting people growing crops again. So we can start shopping at the mom and pop stores again. Hopefully we can start working with each other and building our own and having our own businesses and building ourselves to where we can have everything. We don't have to depend on the elites so much because they got us 100% dependent on everything. So what I mean by that is that they got us dependent on the water, the food, everything. And Kanye West is speaking on this as well. If you watch his other interviews where he is saying that you're a slave to your bed, you're a slave to everything else. But I like what Kanye is doing, but nobody's gonna take him serious because everybody look at him as he's crazy. He moves very wild, and he has to move in a different way for his stature. A simple video like this without speaking, but that's just who he is. His personality is just a loud, vibrant person. So people are going to say that Kanye West is crazy, and they're going to put that on him, which I think is very unfair. But people have been hitting me up, asking me I think he's going to get tucked in. He's treading on tucked in territory. I pray he doesn't get tucked in, but I'm sure they got so much control over him. He's such an asset, a vital asset. They're not about to let Kanye West do this. And if Kanye West is to get something, if something was to happen to Kanye West, let that be an eye-opener to everybody. Our eyes should already be open as it is now. Prince got killed off when he got his masters. Michael Jackson he was even saying he was a slave to the label back when he became the symbol. Michael Jackson said it, that the Tony Mottola was the devil. He bought the Beatles catalog. He started on his own masters. A few other people, when Tory Lanez started talking about owning his own stuff, when he got the ownership of his stuff, he got taken out of the game. You know, Kyrie Irving even came out and said that, hey, the NBA players need to invest in their own league. They are the league. You know, Kanye West said on one of his tweets, he said, hey, without black people, there would be no music industry. Without black people, there would be no athletics. So we need to start investing in ourselves because 100% of the NFL is owned by white men. There's not one minority in the NFL. I think it's like a 0.2% of the NFL owners is minority. That's crazy. Nobody talks about that. Y'all got all those guys kneeling on the front lines, and guess what? It's not going to change the fact that all that money is going to go to a bunch of white men. Well, I guarantee you, if a white dude's in his 80s, not saying all the time it's like that, but there's a higher chance he might be racist because it's where he came from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying every 80-year-old white man is racist. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm not talking about nobody's grandfather here. I met 80-year-old, 90-year-old white men. It was cool as hell. I got him drunk as a motherfucker. Even paid for a lap dance for one of them because he said he had cancer and he was his way out. And he said, hey, man, I'm going to die in a few more months. I'm trying to live it up. I'm like, get this man to dance. You know what I'm saying? 95-year-old white dude in the club, 3 big black bitches in there with him. This shit was funny as hell. So I'm not coming at nobody's granddad saying that. But what I am saying, those NFL owners are all in their 80s and 90s. They come from a racist background. I wouldn't be shocked if they was racist. So I'm just saying that it's a great awakening going on. Let's start waking these people up. Your eyes should already be open to the slavery that goes on around us, how they're controlling us. But if something was to happen to Kanye West, let that be an opener that there is something controlling them. And we do need to start pushing back to them. But let's start figuring out a way. And like I told you guys, it's not going to be pretty when the shit happens. We're going to have to get the cops and the army on our side. And we're going to need a billionaire to employ people. We're going to need a few billionaires to employ people. But all the billionaires work for them. Jay-Z works for them. That's why I say these celebrities are not our friends. And if Kanye West is not 100% compromised, hopefully we can get Kanye West to come on our side and fund people and get it going. Because for some reason, people are not going to just go off a moral cause. They have to go with some type of financial gain. And the cops who enforce these laws are the guys who we need on our side, but they got families and these people have been brainwashed. Same with the military. They've been brainwashed and stuff. So we're going to have to get a few people on the inside, a few cops on the inside, a few people on the military inside, a few billionaires, waking up our people around us, starting little small-time militias because they start seeing that power leave. That's when the tucking in starts going in. So the elites are going to start seeing these music industry artists going away. They don't want to share none of that money. These guys are greedy and they're controlled by a lot of sin. So a lot of evil that they're controlled by. So they don't want to see that shit. And when this great awakening happens and we start pulling back from the elites and start really focusing on ourselves, oh man, it's going to be pretty ugly out here. But that's going to be my topics for this video. If you have anything else you want me to speak on, please leave it in the comment section. It's the boy duanepatrickmclean at duanepatrickmclean TV. Like, comment, subscribe, and share Also, subscribe to the Patreon. I am dropping content on it this week. We'll be starting Illuminati school on the Patreon. So if you want to start learning about the Illuminati, symbolism, why artists do this, why that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the Patreon. But it's the boy duanepatrickmclean at duanepatrickmclean TV. Y'all be blessed. I'm out.
Got the hardest off, got the hardest off. My niggas with the white, gotta get it off. Found a crackhead thought sucking dick for hard. Heard walking up and down on the boulevard. Do something strange for a little piece of change. Imagine what you do for a piece of cocaine. Yeah, pulling up, then I'm pulling off. She ain't had no money, she took her panties off. Got the hardest off, I got the sauce, I got the salt. Try to knock me down, then I knock you off. Oh, the bank closed, got a bankroll. So I'm the ATM when the bank closed. And you know, started sucking dick with a motherfucking eye closed. Pockets on swole, PAT that fucking nigga rockin' all go. You don't know, all my money motherfucking know. Got a Benjamin with a fucking big face. Got a small face, got a big taste. Got a fancy taste, got 2 women right beside I can't waste. And the blunt lace with cocaine. Called a boy PAT Kurt Cobain. Got a girl suck a dick, don't know name. PAT the fucking nigga rockin' all plain. Yeah, play Jane. Got the hardest off, got the hardest off. My niggas with the white, gotta get it off. Found a crackhead thought sucking dick for hard. Heard walking up and down on the boulevard. Do something strange for a little piece of change. Imagine what you do for a piece of cocaine. Yeah, pulling up, then I'm pulling off. She ain't had no money, she took her panties off.